On June 23, 2025, a date that would be etched in the annals of geopolitical history, Iran launched a direct missile attack. This bold move sent shockwaves across the globe, instantly raising concerns about regional stability and the potential for a larger conflict. The target of this audacious strike was Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, a key hub and critical node for U.S. military operations in the Middle East. It serves as a central command center and logistical base for a wide range of American activities in the region. The base, hosting over 8,000 American troops, along with personnel from coalition partners, was struck by a volley of short-range and medium-range ballistic missiles, showcasing Iran's evolving missile capabilities. These missiles were fired from Iranian territory, a clear indication of the direct nature of the confrontation. Immediately following the attack, Iran's state media declared the strike a legitimate response to prior American aggression, further fueling the already tense atmosphere. Simultaneously, U.S. and Qatari officials moved swiftly to confirm the attack, initiating damage assessments and coordinating a response. The world watched with bated breath as tensions soared to unprecedented levels, fearing a wider and potentially devastating conflict between the U.S. and Iran, a scenario that could engulf the entire region. Al Udeid's strategic importance as a vital military asset made it a symbolic target, directly signaling Iran's willingness to openly challenge American dominance and influence in the region. Initial reports suggested minimal casualties, a fortunate outcome, largely thanks to advance warnings from intelligence networks and the effective deployment of defensive measures. The attack was undoubtedly a calculated move, a significant escalation in the ongoing standoff between Washington and Tehran, marking a dangerous new chapter in their complex relationship. The focus quickly shifted to analyzing the motivations behind the strike, and more critically, assessing the immediate and long-term risk of further escalation. The incident served as a stark reminder of the inherent volatility of the region, and the ever-present and looming risk of a broader, more devastating war that could destabilize the entire Middle East. As the dust settled, the international community braced for the next move. In this high-stakes confrontation, a delicate dance on the edge of a precipice. The attack on Al Udeid was not just a military strike, it was far more than that. It was a carefully crafted message, a deliberate act of defiance. The critical question now facing global leaders and military strategists: how would the U.S. respond to this brazen act of aggression? Iran's missile attack was retaliation for U.S. airstrikes days earlier on 3 of Iran's key nuclear facilities: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. President Trump announced the strikes as a preemptive move to cripple Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity. The operation marked a dramatic escalation, shifting U.S. policy from sanctions to direct military action. Iran's prized nuclear sites were hit, crossing a major red line and humiliating Tehran. The world waited for Iran's response, knowing the stakes had never been higher. Tehran framed its missile barrage as a justified and proportional answer to the U.S. attack. The cycle of retaliation had begun. Following the initial tensions, Iran's response was swift and decisive. It was a calculated move, designed to send a clear message across the region and to the United States. A formidable barrage of 14 ballistic missiles was launched, streaking across the sky in a display of power. The target was Al Udeid, a critical U.S. airbase located in Qatar, a strategic hub for American military operations in the Middle East. U.S. and Qatari officials promptly confirmed the attack, acknowledging the severity of the situation and the potential for escalation. But the attack, while significant, wasn't a complete surprise to those monitoring the situation closely. President Trump later revealed that the U.S. had received advance notice from Iran regarding the impending strike, a crucial piece of intelligence. This advance warning allowed military personnel to take shelter in fortified bunkers and protected areas. It also provided valuable time for defensive systems to be readied and brought online, preparing for the incoming threat. Qatar's sophisticated air defense network sprang into action, intercepting the majority of the incoming missiles with remarkable precision. The night sky was illuminated by a series of brilliant explosions as the defense systems successfully engaged and neutralized the incoming projectiles. Despite the robust defense, one missile managed to evade interception and struck near the perimeter of the base. Fortunately, the impact resulted in no casualties and only minimal, insignificant damage to the facilities. The attack served as a clear demonstration of Iran's long-range strike capabilities and its ability to project power in the region. However, the limited damage suggested a calculated restraint, indicating that the primary goal was not widespread destruction. The advance warning strongly suggested that Iran's leadership sought to avoid mass casualties. This was likely an attempt to prevent a larger, potentially devastating U.S. military response that could escalate the conflict dramatically. The entire event unfolded as a dangerous and carefully choreographed show of force, fraught with risk. Despite the intensity of the attack, its strategic impact remained limited, preventing further escalation. Both sides had engaged in a display of military might, flexing their muscles in a tense standoff. Yet, crucially, neither nation appeared to desire a full-scale, all-out war, recognizing the catastrophic consequences that could ensue. The world collectively exhaled a sigh of relief, at least for the moment, as the immediate threat seemed to have passed. Qatar's air defenses were the heroes of the night, intercepting nearly all incoming missiles. The Foreign Ministry proudly announced the successful defense, preventing disaster on Qatari soil. The operation showcased Qatar's military capabilities and its vital partnership with the U.S. Seamless coordination between Qatari and American forces was key, enabled by years of joint training. The attack reinforced Qatar's status as a reliable security partner in the Gulf. No injuries or deaths were reported and the base remained secure. The successful defense averted a wider conflict and proved the value of regional alliances. For now, the shield had held. Relief swept through U.S. and Qatari ranks, a palpable sense of ease washing over the faces of those who had braced for the worst. The immediate threat had seemingly passed. No casualties, no escalation, at least for now. The sprawling Al Udeid airbase, a critical hub for U.S. military operations in the region, remained operational, a testament to the effectiveness of defensive measures. President Trump downplayed the Iranian attack, seeking to project an image of strength and control, calling it weak and expected, and even thanked Iran somewhat surprisingly for the advance warning, a claim that raised eyebrows among analysts. The U.S. signaled it would not escalate further, at least not immediately, choosing a path of de-escalation for the time being, framing the exchange as a closed chapter, at least publicly, in an attempt to prevent further retaliatory actions. Both sides had demonstrated their capabilities, showcasing their military might to the other and the world, but also their restraint, a calculated decision to avoid a full-blown conflict that could engulf the region. The situation remains tense, with the underlying conflict unresolved, a powder keg waiting for the next spark. Iran proved it could strike U.S. targets, demonstrating its ability to project power beyond its borders. The U.S. showed it would hit back at Iran's core assets, sending a clear message of deterrence. Qatar's defenses held, proving their effectiveness in protecting critical infrastructure, cementing its role as a key U.S. ally, a vital partner in maintaining regional stability. The world watches with bated breath, uncertain if this uneasy calm will last or if it's merely the prelude to a larger storm. The shadow war between Washington and Tehran continues, a silent battle waged through proxies and covert operations, its next chapter unwritten, leaving the future of the region hanging in the balance.